So we have the conrod here. I ordered it from a place in Salem, Oregon called OP Engines, and they have a bunch of older color stuff as well as, you know, a bunch of more modern stuff. This is the color manual for service manual for this particular engine. I can insert the screen grabs of particular pages because you probably aren't going to be able to really read this, but let's see if I can. And it's got all the clearances and everything. There we go. There's one page. Kind of see it. The reason this happened is that, I don't know, that's sideways. You know, when I'm doing a little bit more research, you really should be running a straight 30 weight in lawnmowers, and I was unaware of that. This particular Kohler manual says that straight 30 is recommended and preferred, and do not use a multi-viscosity oil above 32 Fahrenheit. Well, clearly it's above 32 Fahrenheit, as it considerably increases oil consumption and combustion deposits will result. And if you don't keep track of your oil level, it'll blow up. And to be fair, it only took about 2 hours to run out, and it was only about half the, you know, it wasn't even half empty or what have you on the dipstick. So it happened quick. So anyways, the crankshaft is slightly hourglass shaped. It's about 1/1000th smaller in the center, and it's also, according to the manual, had this pulled up at one point, but that crank is supposed to be 1 inch 500 thousandths. I believe it was 494 or 495, something like that. And the running spec on this engine, according to this manual, is 1/1000ths to 2/1000ths, and the discard spec is 2/1000ths. So they don't sell a 5 thou conrod for this particular engine. So what I'm going to do is, I ordered a 10 thou. They have standard and 10 thou. I ordered a 10 thou, and we're gonna set this guy up on the lathe and bore it to spec. There's the new guy. So yeah, my thoughts are that I can just take and put a piece of plate in a 4-jaw chuck on a lathe, and then probably, I was hoping that this boss here was the same thickness as the crank pin, but and be able to, you know, clamp here. But it looks like I'm gonna have to figure out a way to clamp on this boss flat on the plate, and then I can just come in and, I mean, it's 5,000, so you're barely taking anything out of it. You could, being aluminum, you could take sandpaper and polish this out, and not too terribly long if you had to. So yep, once I get that sort of set up over there, I'll meet you over there. Alright, so I think I got it together. So I'll go ahead and try to get it in and maybe make some test cuts tonight. It's getting a little late. Alright, camera died right as I was finishing up the oil. So I guess this is it. Alright, so it's still burning quite a bit of oil. Say in an hour and a half we're burning about a half a quart of oil. I spoke with the guy I bought the mower from. He said probably when I hone that the rings can't seat back, and so what I'm going to do now is pull the head back off, take some measurements, see where the bore's at, and it's still standard, but as far as how it's wore in, and try to make a decision of whether to buy a they make a 3/1000 over piston ring kit, so you could, you know, do a hone and rerun it, or whether I should just go ahead and do a full-on bore to get this thing to seal back up.